Hello, hello. I hope y'all can see me okay. I tried to rotate as YouTube said I could to put this in landscape, and hopefully it went through. If not, let me know in the comments down below, because if you're seeing this sideways, then I'm gonna turn it in a different direction for you guys so you can see it better. But I want to address some comments that I have received recently, contentious comments having to do with, changes that I've made to my channel, which I've long talked to y'all about. This is old news. I mean, I didn't just spring this on my viewers overnight. This is something that's been long in the making. I have been slowly transitioning this channel away from tarot, and I've explained every step of the way. Every time I go live, I explain why the changes have been made. And I see some people are coming in very slowly, so if you're in here and the screen looks sideways, let me know so I can fix it. But I think it's in landscape, and hopefully that is a better view than that portrait that I usually do when I go live, because I don't like portrait. But anyway, if you're looking at this sideways, let me know in the comments, and then I can make adjustments, okay? But anyway, while I'm waiting for more people to come in, I am going to repeat what's already been said ad nauseum for the last 4 months, maybe even longer. I've lost track of the time, but so I apologize for those of you who are listening to it yet again. But on behalf of those who, I don't know, were not tuning into these live chats that I've been doing where I've been announcing these changes, I'm going to repeat it very quickly in a nutshell. Over the last 4 months, it's been a slow transition with my channel, re-niching it from tarot to lifestyle content. I've explained along the way as to why, as a business owner, I'm having to make this decision. Although it was a painful one, it was not something that I wanted to make. And yes, I've gotten a lot of compliments on, my readings, and that's wonderful. It's been very affirming to me. Unfortunately, it doesn't equate to compensation. Compliments do not always equate to compensation. And when you're a single mom and have to, provide for children almost single-handedly, then that becomes very real to you. That becomes a reality. And you have to start making tough decisions. Do I want to keep starving, for the compliments, or do I want to, put my big girl pants on and make a business decision so that I can, stabilize my finances? And that's what I've done. Unfortunately, that's what it's amounted to, okay? And you know what, it's not just me, and so please keep this in mind as you're watching. Those of you who really follow a lot of tarot readers and channels, please keep in mind that my experience is not unique. This year, small businesses have failed by record numbers because of Corona. Online businesses have similarly been in a deep recession. So you better believe those other readers that you're watching, they're struggling, and many of them are too proud to tell you that they don't get the payouts from YouTube that you imagine for them, okay? Some of them are too embarrassed to share with their audience that some months their private readings are very low, okay? Because of this Corona, all right? And I'm gonna tell you, I did my channel, like the first 2 years, I grew. I did fantastic. It wasn't until this year that things started going like that. And God is my witness, and some of my followers, who know me very well, they have, you've seen, I've done a whole number of things to turn this around, but I've been fighting against an algorithm, okay? And I don't make the algorithms. They're always changing, but I don't make the changes with them. Unfortunately, I have to adjust to them. That's, what I have to do. So, what else I want to say about that? Because of this last year and the recession that's been going on with small businesses, online businesses, what I do know is that there's been a transfer of wealth that's occurring from these small businesses to the big businesses. We've seen that, as small online businesses have been in dramatic decline, at the same time, we've had businesses like Walmart.com, Amazon.com, the big tech companies have had record high profits. So there's a wealth transfer that's occurring in more ways than one. That's just one of them. But so I know that much. What I don't know is what to do about it. I haven't yet figured that out. And I've been sharing that with you along the way. So I'm going to say if I seem scattered, that's why. Because my line of work is for many people who are solopreneurs like myself. We're going through an economic crisis with everybody else with this corona stuff. And we've got to figure out, how to respond to it. So, and the other thing that's been going on is, I've shared with y'all that, my personal astrology has really been scattering me with Mars in my 12th house. I don't want to go too off into that because I'm going to get into other things. We're going to talk about what's coming up next with this channel, which I've talked about before, and we're going to get to the main crux of this conversation, which is addressing these, contentious comments that I've had over my recent content, specifically my political content, and that's something I'm going to address along with concerns and advice if anybody wants the truth, I got to say that, okay? But back very quickly about my astrology, I've shared with y'all, and I don't even know if anybody's listening. I feel like I'm screaming out in the forest, that I've been dealing with Mars in my 12th house since late July, and it's a 5-month transit for me because of all the retrogrades, so I've been dealing. Good to see you. Is it Donald? Okay. Good to see you. All right. So, what I want to say is that that's been messing with my sense of direction. It's been blocking a lot of my efforts. It's been upsetting my sleep schedule. And then, we've had Neptune retrograde in Pisces from June 23rd to the 28th of this month. So, the thing is that I've got a lot of Pisces placements. And so, that's not really helping me, okay? And I've talked to you guys about that on a real human level, okay? Also my inverse nodal return, I'm dealing with the North Node and the South Node currently in direct opposite positions of my natal chart. So, I'm dealing with a lot of challenging personal astrology right now. And so these people who are coming on here like, what are you doing with your channel? It's so scattered. Well, damn, number one, look at the economy. Okay, I addressed that previously. For y'all that are just now joining, I addressed what's going on with the economy and how it's affecting solopreneurs like myself. We're trying to get our bearings, all right? And then you add my personal astrology into it that I just explained, okay? It's rough. And rather than getting compassion, I'm getting a lot of negativity, like, what the hell are you doing with your channel? Well, and I'm like, where have you been? I've been talking for the last 4+ months about this. And it's frustrating. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's very frustrating. It's like I am talking ad nauseum about this, probably putting some of you to sleep. Like, oh my God, is she back on that again? Yeah, I'm back on it again because people are showing up like, what are you doing with your channel? Like, I have not been addressing this for the last 4 months straight. Okay. Um, and I'll tell you again on the astrological note, probably other readers on YouTube, and I've seen it before, they've gone through difficult personal astrology like what I'm currently going through now. They would just like say, hey, I'm taking a break. I've seen it before. They're like, yeah, I'm taking a few months break because I'm going through some rough astrology, y'all. And then they shut their channel down for a couple months. Rather than doing that, I'm just being upfront with y'all. I'm being real with y'all to say, look, I'm having to regroup here, and it's by divine intervention, okay? And y'all got to know I got my ear to the ground asking God, what's next? What's next? And I am getting some ideas, by the way, which I mentioned recently on my community page that I was going to share with y'all. And so I will say, for those who are like thinking this is turning into a political channel, no, I do have a conscious politics playlist, which I do intend on building over time, but that will not be the primary focus of this channel. I have already filmed actually 2 videos which need to be edited and released, but again, I haven't felt a release from spirit to publish it at this time, okay? But it's on, relationships, okay? By the way, I was told that the content I've been putting out lately is weird. Okay, that was one of the comments that I got. Well, if you look back, like the last 15 videos I've put out are all on relationship coaching. How is that weird? Seriously. Like, if that's weird to you, yeah, you're right. You need to unsubscribe, okay? You do. I mean, it's getting crazy. Like, this is what's weird now is that we talk about relationship coaching, and that's what I have coming up next. That's what I have sitting on my hard drive right now is 2 videos on, interpersonal skills, relational skills, all right? So, another thing I've been working on, which I haven't even talked to you guys about, I'm in the middle of it, is I am filming kind of a mini documentary on a gut reset that I'm doing, okay? I just sent off, by the way, let me share this with y'all. I've been filming here and there, as it's relevant, but I haven't edited and uploaded it yet, but this is coming up next. I just started taking this test. I just sent off last week, for this gut health test. And this is a big deal. They're going to come back and tell me, what I need to do to get my gut health right. And for those of you, I know many of you are like me, you're women in the over 40 crowd, over 30 crowd, and we deal with hormonal issues, okay? And the core of that is gut health, and so that's something I'm trying to share my healing journey with you. Again, part of this channel that I've re-niched to is not just about relationships, but it's about physical healing. And so I have that in the works to release a documentary showing my journey towards, healing the imbalances that I've had with my gut. Because, as many of you know, my health got really messed up when I was in the tail end of a 20-year marriage with a narc, which I wrote a book about, right? I know how having your adrenals tapped out 24/7 wreaks havoc on your health. And so I'm trying to share my healing journey with you. But again, if that's weird, maybe you got to go. Maybe we got to go part ways. And I said this, I said this months ago when I started making these changes. I let people know, hey, I'm going to be making these changes. If they don't work for you, we might need to part ways. I understand. But now I'm getting people 4 months later making comments like, hey, where's your tarot? And I don't like this new stuff. You know what I'm saying? And oh, this is weird. I'm unsubscribing. I see comments are coming in, by the way, and I I will read them shortly. And but the way I have the camera right now, they're sideways. So I got to figure that out. But I don't mean to ignore any of y'all. I'm gonna get to your questions in a moment. I want to say also that I had somebody comment over the last week. They were looking for a teaching series that I used to have on Vimeo. Well, I did make announcements that I have chosen not to renew my subscription with Vimeo. It's $250 a month. A year, folks. And so I decided, just made a business decision that I'm no longer going to be on Vimeo. And I did save some of those teaching series that were on there on healing from narcissistic abuse, healing financial self-worth wounds. Somebody commented and said, I tried to go over there and buy it and it wasn't there. Well, that's why, because I put out an announcement last month that I'm no longer on Vimeo. And I am in the process of transferring those videos onto Etsy. But I've had a lot going on with my kids, with this election, with, the holidays. Okay. So I haven't yet gotten everything over there. As soon as it's over there, I will make an announcement on my channel that those videos are available for sale. By the way, thanks to those of you who are asking to buy my videos. I mean, my God, that really helps me. That really does. I mean, people don't understand that $3.99, more people that give, they help support this channel. They help sustain this channel. And that's a big issue for me right now. Okay, the other thing, I've made some announcements, but it's still in the works, that I made sage spray. Okay. And I put this out like on October 31st on my community page. I said, oh, I'm making sage spray. This is going to be on Etsy, but I haven't listed these products yet for sale. Okay. And by the way, this is like some lovely stuff. This is probably the best blend I've ever had. This has been prayed over. This has been moon bathed, and it's got essential oils of frankincense, sage, lavender. These essential oils are like, so they have healing properties. They have spiritual renewal properties. I mean, this is probably the best blend I've ever made, and I'm going to put those for sale on Etsy. They're not available yet, but I'm letting you know. I'm sharing this with you, not to like sell you stuff, okay, but to tell you, listen, I'm working on this channel. I'm re-niching this channel, and I'm sorry that it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what is this about? I'm trying to be clear with you guys, and I understand that people don't watch all my videos every single minute in their entirety, but you know, I do repeat myself a lot, and I am trying to keep y'all in the loop of what's going on and why. All right, so as far as if I'm going to keep talking about politics, I do intend on building that playlist, but that conscious politics playlist, but like I said before, it will not be the primary focus of my channel. Like if you look over the last 3 or 4 months, I put out 15 videos on relationship coaching, natural healing, spirituality. I only put out one video on politics, on my conscious politics playlist. And that video was bipartisan. That video was about you being able to recognize gaslighting in politics and media. I wasn't telling you who was doing it. I was telling you how to know for yourself who's doing it. And I didn't pick sides of the fence or anything. But unfortunately, a lot of people didn't watch it. But I will probably continue here and there, not a lot, but here and there, putting up political content, because I've actually had a couple people tell me that they think I should post more on that subject. They want to hear more about it. And so, and if I do that, it's probably going to be on recognizing socialism and communism, because I think this is a big problem that we're having right now. People don't seem to understand. They either don't know what it is, or they like it. They like socialism and communism, and they don't understand, what is the problem with it. So let me see if I can get some of these comments to come up on my laptop. And if y'all know how to do that, I'm gonna go into YouTube Studio and see if it'll come up, because your comments are coming sideways. Oh, I wish that would just, get corrected in YouTube land. So let me know how y'all are doing, by the way. Let me know if y'all are looking forward to Thanksgiving, because I know many of us are looking at the holidays coming up. And let me see if I can go to this live stream. Yeah, I think I'm getting it now. Okay. There it is. Lovely. I found it. Okay. So Donald is here, and thank you for asking how I am, Donald. I'm on fire. I'm a bit on fire tonight, because I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Like, I talk to people. I say the same thing. Is anybody listening to me? Yeah, this is Mars and 12th house issues. For those of you who don't know astrology, Mars and 12th house issues, very, like, it's like feeling like you're not heard, feeling like you're being blocked Donald's asking, am I a life coach mentor? Yes, I've been doing life coaching. Actually, I was doing that through astrology and tarot, but I've been trying to get out of that using those modalities. And also want to, and hi, Mac, thanks for the hug. If you were sending it out to me. I want to say that one of the things that I recently, in my prayer time, came up with, and I wanted to run it past y'all, because I'm so open to your suggestions. I really am. So long as it's, not along the lines of shut your mouth unless you agree with my politics. Like, that's not cool. We got to part ways on that. Like, if you're going to unsubscribe because I don't agree with your politics, yeah, go on and unsubscribe. Okay. Like, that's juvenile. I ain't got time for it. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing life coaching through astrology and tarot for the last 3 years, and I actually have a lot of content here on this channel, already put on this channel, helping people, to know who their ideal life partner is, how to know what their life purpose destiny is. And I've also offered healing readings, which are very deep, like 2-hour healing readings to get into your unique natal astrology and help you to understand, like, what are the soul wounds that you're here to deal with in this lifetime, and give maybe some healing advice on how to not only heal from that, but then share that healing with others. And written a book on narcissism, healing from narcissism. Okay, so that's more like relationship coaching that I've been putting out over the last 3 years, and wanting to do even more of that. So Magmac is saying, I think DHA, I think it's 90-degree camera angle on your channel. Okay, so I'm gonna ask y'all, now that I've got more people in here, are you seeing me filming in landscape, or is it coming like this in portrait? Do I look sideways on your camera? Because Yeah. Let me know. Yeah, you're crooked. Okay, Maureen says you're crooked. Hey, you know what it said on YouTube is um it said to turn it the other way. Is it, how about this? Is this better? uh Hopefully that's better. Okay. Awesome. Good to see you, Scorpio Butterfly. Thank you for joining. Okay. Well, now we have the problem solved. And I apologize for that. On my end, as a creator, YouTube says, oh, rotate your camera if you want it in landscape. And then every time I do this, it happens. It's like wacky, you know? And then I think that they fixed it because I see other, I let some time pass and I see other channel creators are putting it in landscape while going live. And I'm thinking, well, I guess they corrected it by now. And then when I go back and try to do it, it's not corrected. So, blah, whatever. 'Tis life, right? Let me see what other comments I can respond to. I'm seeing some familiar names joining in. Good to see y'all as always. And some new people too. Why are we sideways? Someone says, oh, we fixed it, right? Sunny is saying, I need a reading. Okay, listen, let's have a chat. Let's talk, okay? Because this is what I'm hearing from a lot of people. Come back, do the readings. You were good when you were doing the readings, okay? But like I said from the very beginning, I know a lot of people joined in after that, so I'll say it one more time real quick in a nutshell. That has not been sustainable, okay? YouTube has not been paying my bills in that respect. So that's why I've had to re-niche into evergreen content. And I'm doing a lot of soul searching about it, honestly, because I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I think maybe like I miss doing the tarot. I want to go back to it. Other times I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I got a new deck of cards. And one of my favorite viewers is sending me like 5 decks. My God, I'm so blessed, you know? And I think to myself in these moments, like, I want to get back to doing the readings, but there's this other part of me, I just don't feel a release. I just don't feel the release. Like, yeah, Mac, 5 decks. Like, she's sending me, I don't know, like several decks, okay? And I just bought one for myself, okay? A new one, all right? So, like, I don't know. I was praying the other night. I'm trying to be very spirit-led right now about what I'm going to do with this channel, because I have actually over the last 3 or 4 months put a lot of evergreen content up, which was my goal. Like, I had in mind that if I were to return to tarot maybe at the beginning of next year, that what I would do is readings where, let's say that I see something about somebody being emotionally unavailable. If that comes up in the reading, well, then I can like direct you to my videos on, emotionally unavailable people, okay? Like, and maybe put out, some relationship coaching evergreen content maybe once a month, since I've now, after, this year, I've been able to amass a good amount of evergreen content, which was really important to me. I accomplished that goal, but again, I'm not getting the total green light from Spirit to return to tarot, even though I have gotten some more decks in, and I'm excited about them, I have thought in my prayer time, about what I could possibly do in the meantime, and I had an idea I want to run by y'all. Y'all tell me what you think. It's kind of, it's a different idea. It's something that's not being done in the tarot community. And that is where we would together practice the prophetic. Like we would go live, like I'm doing tonight. And what we would do is together, I'm going to help you develop your gifting. Because God is no respecter of persons, right? Spiritual gifts for everyone. Everyone. So some of you might get a prophetic gift, some you might have a gift of prophecy where somebody comes in on live chat and says, hey, I'm getting this. And I tell you intuitively what I'm picking up. We might pull cards, but I want the main focus to be the gift of prophecy, maybe gifts of knowledge, okay? And then I want to help the viewers out there to practice that gift, so you're not just running to readers for all your answers, right? This is what happens in the church. They run to the pastor or the priest for their answers. I want to equip you to learn how to discern, to hear spirit yourself, rather than running to other people. And so how do you feel about that? I mean, if we were to do this, it would be like maybe 1 week, one night a week, where we would go live for maybe an hour or two, and we would take questions, and I would tell you, what I'm hearing, what I'm sensing, what I'm feeling when I am praying and listening to spirit about the answer to your question. And the people in the chat can be practicing with me. If they're hearing, feeling, sensing something, they can share it with you. What do you think about this? HR 105 ROV says you can do readings but not technology. I am not sure what that means. Mac, thank you for saying you look nice. Thank you very much. Now that I'm not sideways anymore. Thank you. Annette is saying, can't believe I caught you live. Aquarius here reconnecting with a Scorpio, I think, LOL. Well, good for you, girl. Good for you. I love hearing about my fellow Aquarians finding love, finding success. Of course, I wish that for all of you, regardless of sign. But as an Aquarian, when I hear that my fellow Aquarians are advancing and progressing, it is like so reassuring to me. And I need a lot of reassurance right now. If you watched from the beginning of this video, I talked about my astrology is really whack right now. So Mars in the 12th house is like going nowhere, right? Nowhere at all. But I know that's going to shift at the end of February. I'm going to break loose out of that. Mars is going to go in my first house, and man, I'm really excited about that. But in the meantime, listening to reports that other Aquarians are really making progress is encouraging to me that there's hope for me and that things are going to get better on my end. Mac is saying you need an influencer. I believe you're good in tarot. Thank you. And yeah, an influencer would really help, but unfortunately, the tarot community is difficult. I've tried to reach out to several of them, and they're very guarded, and I'm an Aquarian. I'm very, like, let's be friends. Everybody, let's be friends. And I do try to pull back on some of that because, I'm kind of spread thin right now. And so maybe I'm not the best friend, to keep up with everybody. But I do sometimes, comment in a positive, affirming way to other tarot readers, and they just ignore me. And I think some of them have even blocked me. Like, I don't even know if they like me. And I've heard some astrologers mention this as well. I used to follow a lady who's not on here anymore, but she's like, I don't know what it is, but people in the astrology community don't like me. And I don't really know if it's her or it's just that people in this community are very guarded, extremely. And you try to be friendly with them and they are suspicious of you and they don't engage. And then I've also seen some clicks, so it is what it is. And I mean, again, I can't change it. I just have to deal with it. So yeah, I mean, I would love to, if you're a reader and you're watching me and I don't know, you want to do a collaboration, let me know. You know, message me. I'm open to that. I'm not one of these people who is like, I will say, I will admit though, I didn't follow up with one particular reader. I don't even think he's on here anymore, but he reached out to me and I was so swamped and busy back then. I was writing my book. I was putting out, oh my God, I had so many irons in the fire. I just couldn't collaborate with him. But maybe in the first of next year, I might be able to do a collab if somebody's open to it. But honestly, I'm going to tell you, I've given up on talking to other tarot readers, you know, unless they reach out to me, because I'm not trying, I don't want them to think that because I'm leaving a comment that I'm trying to take their viewers from them. Or I never make mention of my channel name, but well, it's there, you know, it says who I am when I comment. So all right, let me look at the other questions. And I see that they're kind of like, let's see. Okay, so Sunny DeVega is saying, did you get an election reading, final result, outcome? Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. I had one of my favorite viewers who went through my tarot reading course. By the way, it is free. I did shut down the paid school, okay? I will consider reopening it next year, just side note. But she went through my entire course and she pulled cards, and it was Two of Swords. And I think it was also Seven of Cups. If I remember correctly, I'd have to pull that message back up. She sent me the cards that came out, which to me is like, okay, Two of Swords is stalemate, and Seven of Cups, bunch of smoke and mirrors going on, right? And I think also Page of Pentacles came out, and that's like very little substance here, very little substance. So I mean, honestly, that's not a clear yes or no, which by the way happens a lot with tarot. Tarot is really not a great modality for getting straight yes or no answers. But it is good for understanding, you know, the details of things. So understanding why you can't get a straight answer, you know, it gets into that. It's good for life coaching. Tarot is, yeah. Let me see what other questions we have here. And Mac is saying, I'm just saying, go to a influencer tarot and talk. Boom, hits your channel. What influencer, Mac? Drop names. Drop names. Mac saying happy Mondays, I'm in. Well, is Monday a good day for y'all? Okay, I mentioned earlier the possibility of us maybe practicing the prophetic one night live a week where we take questions. I'm not the only one answering. There's people in the chat, and I'm guiding y'all as I'm sharing with you how I listen and hear from Spirit. I'm guiding everybody else so that we're learning together and we're helping. It's not just me, it's not just one-on-one. It's, one person at a time coming in, and there could be several people in a night, but, we're practicing, all of us together, the prophetic, to try to get answers to collectively listen to the promptings of spirit. Would y'all be interested in doing that? And if so, what would be a good night for you to do that? Scorpio butterfly is saying, I like that idea. I don't know if that's in context of what I just said, but Annette, I recognize you, Annette. Good to see you. She says, yes, a year of awakening, making progress with many relationships. It's been rough, but much reward. Well, good for you. Good for you on finding that Scorpio, Annette. I've seen you before on this channel. That's what I meant to say. It's been a while since I've seen you, but glad to see you again tonight. Penn is saying the reason why the other readers don't want to engage with me is because they are fake. All right. Mac saying real love ain't easy and happy you share. I had up and down, but love rules. Mac is asking, what is Seven of Cups? I'm a noob. Okay, Seven of Cups is like, it's that picture of the guy looking up into the clouds, and it's like, I don't know, what should I pick? The chalice with the snake, or the chalice with the the prize, or, well, I don't know. And it's all cloudy and everything. Like, there's options, but what's going on here? There's a lot of, not having the clarity. And that's pretty much summing up this election. You've got Two of Swords, stalemate. Somebody's not seeing and hearing, right? Because there's that blindfold over her eyes. And they've even got their heart, like, not opening up emotionally. We're at a stalemate here. And then with the Seven of Cups, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on, And let's see, Jennifer Marie Virgo has responded. Good to see you. Battles is here. Thank you. And yes, I would like to do that live prophetic chat. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Battles. By the way, that was a spirit-led idea, okay? Not my idea. I'm going to tell you. I went to sleep at night because I think of this channel a lot. I know some of y'all think I dropped off the face of the earth, or you're like, what the hell is she doing? Hell, I'm asking God, what am I doing next, I just know what doesn't pay my bills. I know what isn't working, okay? I addressed that at the beginning of this chat. So if y'all missed it, maybe go back and watch the beginning when we get off of here. All right. But because I care so much about this channel and what I'm doing with it, I go to bed at night sometimes and I pray and I'm like, God, show me. And on this one particular night that I was praying for direction, like, what do you want me to do next? What do you want me to do next? I woke up in the morning and I got this idea, like within the first minute that I awoke, I had this idea in my head. And by the way, just spiritual side note, for those of you who are wanting to learn how to listen to spirit more clearly, you pay attention to like the first minute to 5 minutes that you wake up. Like, don't bam get out of bed in the morning, like lay there quiet, because in those quiet still moments, that's where spirit is really speaking and you can hear from God. And pay attention to your dreams too. That's biblical. God speaks to us in our dreams. I'm big into dream interpretation. So that was a spirit-led idea, but of course I want to run it by my audience just to kind of double check, because I'm human. I'm not above human error, right? I mean, and that's something that I always want to say to you when you're watching, this kind of content, spiritual content, whether it's astrology, tarot or practicing the prophetic, learning to hear from spirit psychically, if you're more comfortable with that term, psychic, um, um, just be careful. We're all human. We're all capable of making mistakes. That's why a lot of times I look for confirmation. I believe that spirit is giving me this idea, but I'm going to run it by you. And yeah, sometimes I am hearing from God, but maybe I read into it something that I shouldn't, and that's human. We do that, but that's how we learn. That's how we refine that gifting, is through trial and error. Those of you who have taken my paid class, I have a whole teaching video, I think it's like 30 minutes long, about, how to fine tune your prophetic gifting. How to learn how to hear from spirit on your own so that you're not dependent on other people who are just human, So, yeah, Sarah's saying Aquarius here, Aquarius in the house. Awesome. Let me go back and look at some other and comments. Annette is saying, thanks for remembering me. I like your idea. My work hours are crazy though, so I never know when I can make it. Okay, understandable. Green Eyes 1226 says hello, and another familiar name. I think that your swords is for Donald Trump not coming to a reality that he's lost. I'm sorry to hear that, Green Eyes. We're going to talk more about that in a moment. Let me answer some other, and I'm going to get into politics, okay? Because I'm going to tell you that's the crux of this live stream, is that some people have been very unhappy with me speaking my mind about politics. And as many of you know, I am the descendant of a Revolutionary War veteran, many men who fought for freedom in America. So I've got it in my bloodline, freedom. And with 3 Aquarius placements, revolution, baby, individual liberties all the way. It's in my blood. It's in my energetic signature. Y'all aren't talking me out of it. This is who I am, okay? You're probably going to have to put me in a FEMA, camp, and try to maybe re-educate me. But I have a feeling I might see y'all down in Camp FEMA, and if you're an Aquarian, we might launch a revolution or something over there. Yeah, because I'm crazy like that, crazy ideas like, damn, we should be free. We should protect this constitutional republic. Oh, the audacity, Anyway, let me get back to these comments. Oh, Maureen is saying she's super busy, but she is moving on Thursday. Can't stay to chat tonight. Looking forward to next live. No worries, and I'm happy for Maureen moving again. I've been following Maureen's story, and so that's really positive news. Again, another Aquarian making progress. Love to hear it, because that gives me hope when I see that you guys are experiencing hope in your life. Maybe, yeah, rub off on me. That's some good stuff. Okay, Sunny is saying God failed all of us. Why are you saying that? Please clarify, Sunny. I need to know. Jennifer Marie is saying it's like Spirit is trying to tell me something. Well, you'll have to elaborate on that. Okay. Green Eyes is saying 2,997 family members fought in my family for the Civil War. Yeah, that's rough. I am concerned, by the way, this is something I want to talk more about tonight, is I am concerned that we are on the brink of a second civil war. Let me clarify, my family fought in the Revolutionary War, not the Civil War, okay? So that fight was to get free of socialism, communism. That fight was for a constitutional republic, not a democracy, which people are told we're living in. We're not in a democracy. Democracy means mob rule. And a constitutional republic is about rule of law. This is a big difference. Once you condition Americans to believe that we're not in a constitutional republic, the Constitution is outdated, yada, yada, you start telling them this is a democracy, we're going down a slippery slope that is heading towards socialism, which is soft communism, and that does lead to communism. So, you know, I don't know that any of my family members actually fought in the Civil War, but I do know I have family members who fought in World War II. So our fight has been for freedom, and that's what I'm about. I'm about that. And I am deeply concerned that we are entering into a second civil war. Deeply concerned. Battles is saying the classes are great and so helpful. She's talking about my tarot classes. Thank you so much. The free classes are still available, but the paid classes have been put on hold. Again, part of my restructuring of my business. I'm going to reassess next year if that's something that I'm probably going to reassess within 60 to 90 days if I'm going to make those paid courses available again. If you've already paid for courses, you can still access them during the next 90 days, okay? But they're not currently for sale. And yeah, I'm reassessing and regrouping right now. Again, it's going to be a spirit-led decision whether or not I continue on with the classes. And if I do, am I going to continue on Teachable? Really a lot of restructuring going on at this time and trying to be very spirit-led about it. But thanks for the compliment, Battles. Annette is saying, good for you, freedom and revolution, count me in. Awesome. Very awesome. And Jennifer Maria is saying, I constantly see the number 11 at 1111 or 111 every day, like it's spirit trying to tell me something. Well, they say that means you're on track. And some people say it means your twin flame is coming in. We have a joke around my house sometimes when it's 11:11 or 1:11. I'll joke around with my kids. I'll be like, ooh, twin flame's coming in. Twin flame never comes in. And those of you who really know me know I'm not really a believer in the whole twin flame thing, but I would love to be proven wrong. There's some things that I think I'm right about, and I really don't want to be right about it. I mean, I'd love a twin flame, Universe, please prove me wrong. Yeah, but it's an inside joke. Okay, and so Sunny is answering back to me about this question that I had, God failed all of us. Don't let the left win. That's I suppose what you're saying, we were failed by God. No, I think that's man. And I feel like I'm a big believer in free will. I do think that some things are fated, right? That's the astrology. And then free will is, how we're going to respond to things that are fated. It's like you're dealt certain cards in life, and then how do you play them, right? That's fate. How you play the cards you're dealt. And the cards you're dealt is astrology, right? And so I feel like people with their free will did not operate in integrity. And I know like people like Green Eyes are saying, oh, where's the numbers? You know, go to my community page and look at all the links that I've put. You're probably gonna have to kind of dig through all the replies to comments. But I've got a lot of information on there. If you want to know more, you're not going to hear it on mainstream media, corporate owned media. The revolution will not be televised, okay? So there's a lot of censoring going on. This is not in my imagination. This is fact, okay? This is not fantasy. And again, you can find this, but you're not going to find it on mainstream media, all right? And I put information on my community page, you know, to go Google search for yourself, or search on, better yet, search on YouTube the videos documenting the congressional hearings that have been going on recently, involving Twitter with Jack Dorsey, or Facebook with Mark Zuckerberg. And you have these men being interviewed by senators, and they have actually found collusion, that these big tech companies are working together in real time, daily, with technology to work in unison to suppress news, certain reports, which oddly always seem to favor the left and not the right. And there was also some investigations that revealed that 98%, I believe, if not 99% of the employees at Facebook who contributed to a political campaign this year, 99% of them contributed to the left. So there's very clear bias, and there's evidence of it. There's evidence in a congressional hearing involving senators. But again, if you're going to mainstream media, you're not going to hear this, right? You're not going to hear about Dominion, right? The software. I talked about that and how they're flipping votes through a supposed glitch. Anybody who works in tech and knows software knows that there's no such thing as a glitch. There's hacking, there's changing programming, algorithms. There's no glitch. So, you know, these things need to be investigated, but if you're waiting around for mainstream media to do this, well, you know, I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. And if you buy that, I can throw the Golden Gate Bridge in for free, right? Yeah. All right. All right, and Pin Sai is saying, it's not spirit people, it's Christ Jesus, that's his name. He said, those of me, I will be ashamed. Those ashamed of me, I will be ashamed of you when you come on the clouds of my Father and my power. Well, I just want to let you know, I mean, for the record, when I say Spirit, I'm referring to Holy Spirit. And Holy Spirit is part of the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. That's who I pray to. Okay, I don't get into archangels and, you know, oh, what else do they have? You know, all of these. Man, that's just too much for me. I just keep it super simple. It's just Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and but I do condense and shorten it down to Spirit. But that's for the record, if y'all want to know. Because there are a lot of angels working for the light and working for the dark. Just like we have good and bad people here, there's the same thing on the other side, I believe. So, I don't just call upon any kind of, and you see some readers doing this, they're calling upon angels of white light and archangels and light workers and oh shit, hell, I can't even keep up with it. I don't know who those things are. I don't know anything about that. I'm just keep it simple. Holy Spirit, right? All right, let me go back to these questions. Yeah, people have failed. People's getting back to you, Sunny. People have failed, and God lets you have your free will. I'm a big believer that that's what this matrix is about. This spiritual school called Earth that we're living in. It's about us using our free will. Like, maybe, yeah, being even tested. Someone say, like, what are you going to do if you're dealt these cards? Are you going to rig an election? Are you going to, cancel somebody? Are you going to engage in cancel culture because they don't agree with you? Who are you? What are you going to do? And unfortunately, a lot of people, I believe, chose to engage in fraud. I mean, there's so much evidence of it. I mean, I could make a whole video on that. And there already have been videos made on that. There's so many people talking about this right now. I don't even know how people can come on here with a straight face and say there's no voter fraud going on. Dominion, anyone? Go look up Dominion. I've got a link on my community page about that. What about all those police pulling, have y'all seen, they were pulling Donald Trump votes out of ponds and lakes. Have y'all seen that? There were people who went on to TikTok and Twitter, and I can't even believe this was so stupid. Like, who would do this, okay? They went on to social media and they filmed themselves working at a poll booth and saying, you see these Donald Trump votes? Here's what I'm doing with them. And they threw it in the trash. Okay. Number one, that's a felony. Number two, why the hell did you film it and put it on social media for everyone to see? Like, I can go on and on and on with these stories. Okay. People, election workers who, again, I don't want to repeat this. If you care to hear it, and some of you don't care. Some of you have made up your minds that you're going to believe what you got to believe. And, others of you, if it is voter fraud, you're fine with it because your guy won and that's all that matters to you. Who cares if the next election, somebody like Stalin gets in through voter fraud? Another problem for another day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't want to repeat myself, okay? If you want to know the truth, it's over there. There's a bunch of links on the post with me holding a sign called fraud. Yeah, I like that. Did y'all see that Biden curve or the Viagra curve where at 4 a.m. Donald Trump was like 700,000 votes ahead of Biden? Oh, I was awake when that was going on. 4 a.m. in Texas. And they quit counting. There's a software engineer who said, hey, let me tell you why they quit counting, because they broke the algorithm. Donald Trump's numbers were so high, the only way they could course correct at that point was to quit counting, and that's when they had all these mystery votes come in, and that's when you see that curve go straight up on the chart like that. That is a mathematical, statistical impossibility. Nobody just gets like that on it. That's not how that works. You can't tell me that all those votes that came in were 100% Biden, which is what they're claiming. Oh my God, I could just go on and on and on. There are poll workers there saying that they ran those Biden votes through like 3 times. They've got dead voters. They've got more people voting than were registered. Sweet Jesus, are you living under a rock? You haven't heard about this? if you're only getting your news from mainstream media, corporate-owned media, you're not going to hear about this stuff. What you're going to hear is that people like me who are talking facts are crazy. Conspiracy theorists. By the way, this is all gaslighting. I warned y'all back in September when I put a video out about this. How to recognize gaslighting from politicians and media. Let me see. Let me go back to your comments. I'm being a talkaholic. I apologize. No one won by cheating. If they did, then what about 2016? LOL. Hey, that's a great point, healing elements, and I want to answer that. That I am concerned that this latest news coming from this attorney, Sidney Powell, is that the right word, right name? Sidney Powell, I hope I'm remembering that correct. It seems like over the weekend, the Trump administration has distanced themselves from her. And I'm very concerned because I believe that if her claims are true and correct, which is not to be decided by the media trying to act like judge and jury, but it should be decided in a court of law. Anyway, if they find out that what she's saying is true, this brings into question all elections in which Dominion software was used. As of right now, what I'm hearing is that Dominion software has been used in 29 out of 50 states. For how long, I don't know. But I'm very concerned that a revelation like this could cause a second revolution in this country because, what's going to happen is that people are going to start questioning why is anybody's vote valid? And I mean, those of you who think that I'm, Trump training it, please understand, I've been talking about corrupt voting system since 2012. I saw it happen back then with the RNC, with Ron Paul. I saw it happen with the DNC, with Bernie Sanders. This is not about parties or politicians. Both parties are corrupt. And that's why I'm wondering if Trump is distancing himself now from Sidney Powell, because she's opening a can of worms that will reveal corruption on both sides of the aisle. Although, I gotta say that currently what we're finding is that the owners and controllers of Dominion seem to have clear ties to socialist, communist parties, George Soros, and the Clinton Foundation. By the way, George Soros is a name that nobody's supposed to mention. He's the guy who funds the BLM, riots and the all of this that you see with the left going out and burning down cities and looting businesses. This is being funded by George Soros, and he funds a whole lot more, including the Clinton Foundation. And research him, by the way. People who used to work for Fox News say you're not allowed to talk about George Soros. And pay attention to who you're not allowed to talk about, okay? Who you're not allowed to talk about. Let me go back and look at some of these messages. So I've got somebody here called Anonymous Boy, and for some reason YouTube is holding back your comments, and it's not me who's doing it, it's YouTube, because Anonymous Boy is clearly talking about, I'm going to show it, talking about how Biden is clearly leftist and liberal. Well, yeah. Anonymous Boy is saying, so sad Donald Trump lost. Well, that's what the media is saying, but actually the media doesn't decide who wins an election. It's, you know, it's the officials. It's the people who are certifying the vote. The vote has not even been certified yet. So I wish people, but see, there's so much brainwashing. I wish people would stop saying this, that Donald Trump lost and that Biden won, because the election has not been certified. It is not final. Votes are still being counted. There are still cases in a court of law, and so this has to be decided in a court of law. Please, everybody, stop saying that Trump lost and that Biden won. That is not a fact. Just because the Associated Press says it is so does not make it so, and this is the problem. That you guys think that the media decides this stuff, and they don't. But they are content to let you keep believing that they are, the people in charge of the truth. They're not. They're controlling information, and the disturbing thing is that whoever controls the information controls the masses. But I will tell you this, if they keep telling everybody that Trump lost and he concedes, okay, because the media said so, I guess I lost. Forget what the certifiers have to say. Forget what courts of law have to say. Hey, the media said it, so it's so. I'm going to step down now. And everybody else goes along with it. Guess what? You are consenting to being governed by people who were likely not certified in this election. And furthermore, they were being contested in a court of law. So please stop it. Please stop saying this. I'm really getting on some rants here. Let me go back to your comments. Healing Elements is saying there's no left or right, just unity. Well, there's freedom and there's bondage. And right now that's the choice that I think Americans are fighting for. It would be nice for us to unify towards the cause of freedom, and that's what I'm trying to encourage all of you to do. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people who they don't like freedom. Freedom is scary. They actually want the government to have more authority. They want the government to tell them, what to put on their face. They want the government to tell them to stay in their houses. They want the government to tell them when they can and cannot gather with family for the holidays, even though these same people who are telling them this are going out, like Governor Newsom of California, going out and having dinner with medical industry lobbyists. Oh, what the hell's going on there? With no mask, no social distancing. What a hypocrite. Yes, for supposed COVID. Hell yeah. Some of y'all are begging for this. You are begging for more government control. You're statists. I'm going to tell you, you want big daddy government. You want a nanny state. You want people telling other people what to do, and you want money taken from your fellow Americans. It's called taxes, but guess what? Forced charity is theft. Y'all feel good about signing up fellow Americans to pay more taxes for noble causes. And the thing is Jesus never preached that. Jesus said for you to give to the sick and the homeless and the orphaned. Jesus didn't tell you to go out and vote for laws to force other people to pay for it. That's not charity. Forced charity is theft. Sorry, I'm on a rant here. And this is what left wants to do. They want us to lose our freedom. They want people in government who are hypocrites to tell them what to do and to take their fellow Americans' money. Taxes, more taxes. And I'm sorry, that's what we're going to get if we get Biden in. And again, if you follow the money of what got Biden elected, Dominion alone, forget all the other stuff, the hundreds of affidavits. Okay, oh my God, I could just go on and on about that. Let's just talk about Dominion on its own. The people that own and control that are coming from communist, socialist countries. They hold those ideologies. And so, okay, here we go. Where is this Dominion proof? It's on my community page, okay? It's on my community. I have the link on there. Scroll down. I got a bunch of links. Go check them out, okay? But I will tell you, the biggest one I saw was an investigative journalist, which rare find. My God, we don't have any more of that these days. Investigative journalist from OANN. And it's like a 20-minute investigative journalist piece on Dominion, okay? And there's a lot of others, so don't just look at one source, look at various and compare notes and decide for yourself, But yeah, I definitely have the links for that. But my problem is like I put the links out because of the people who were arguing with me. And, one of the issues that I have is that these people tell me, no evidence. Where's the proof? You don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. This is gaslighting. And so when you give them the proof, then it's discredited. You're not, and that's what I was told. I'm not going to listen to you. You're not credible. I hear this a lot from leftists. Oh, these are not credible sources, and it's like, my God, I'm trying to have a civil discourse with you. We're trying to talk about facts and share information, but I'm being called names. I'm being told that I'm not credible. Like, well, you thought I was credible when I was pulling tarot cards, and now I'm, dropping facts and truth bombs and giving you links, and now all of a sudden I'm not credible anymore because I'm not agreeing with you. Like, what the hell's going on with us in America? Can you, tell me what the hell's it? Let me go look at this. Let me go look at these other. Yeah, Annetta's saying mainstream media has been despicable, shameful, trying to control us and make us sheep. Absolutely. I said back in September, before any of this went down, I told y'all that mainstream media, 90% of it is owned by 6 corporate conglomerates. This illusion of choice is not real. It's not. Follow the people who've been blacklisted. Follow the people they don't want you to hear. They've taken their voice away. They've deplatformed them. They've demonetized them. There's a whole list, and I might share that. I mean, I could rattle some names off now, but, I follow some people on YouTube who are on the brink of being blacklisted. As a matter of fact, they're only putting up 2-minute videos and telling you to go watch the rest of the video on other platforms that are decentralized. So, I mean, there's a lot of control going on with big tech. And like I said, the congressional hearings have revealed this. And it's happening with big media as well. They're all working in concert. They all have one politically correct narrative. And if you don't agree with it, you're going to get called crazy. You're going to be called, not credible. They're going to ignore you. They're going to blacklist you. They're even creating, they're doxing people. Aaron is saying The Art of War. Absolutely. That's a classic book. The Art of War. Anybody who's a reader, read it. Read it. It's a must read. My kids have read it. We've got Art of War here by Sun Tzu, a famous general. And so, yeah, they're playing a skillful game. Let me look at what else we have on the comments here. Scorpio Butterfly saying, I am Scorpio and I agree with Trump 100%. My grandfather was one of the original Choctaw Code talkers. That is interesting. I know about Choctaw because I've got family out in Oklahoma. I don't know about the code talkers, but you maybe can tell me more about that. But I mean, honestly, like I've tried to say, I didn't vote for Trump because I don't agree with him 100%. There's some things he said that, you know, concern me, like about vaccine mandates, okay, and using the military. I mean, but this is what I'm trying. This is a problem. Like I wish more people could just wrap their head around this concept of, do you have to really be pro-Trump to be pro-election integrity? Why is it that the left doesn't seem to care to investigate election fraud? Why is it constant dismissiveness and deflection, which, by the way, is a gaslighting technique? Why is the media not taking their job seriously to investigate? Do real investigative journalism. All right, well, so I lost y'all. It said I had to reconnect. I'm not sure why, but I'm back. So I don't know what y'all lost on that, but let me go back to some of these comments here. Adolf Hitler has posted Trump lost and Biden won. Yes, well, according to the communists, you're right on, Adolf Hitler. Yeah. In their reality, which I do not reside, yes, you're right. Okay. Pin Sai is saying, okay, let me go back because I'm hearing all of this about narcissists in the office, blah, blah, blah. Okay. God help me. If I hear one more time that Donald Trump is a narcissist, I just don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, it's like, it's a broken record. It's a broken record. And I've said before, I'll say it again, that it's probably in this current society, unfortunately, I don't agree with it, but I think it's the truth, that it is nearly impossible to succeed in politics without some degree of narcissism. Now, does that mean that I'm okay with it? No, I'm not. But it reflects the problems within the constituents who are voting for these people. They're voting for people who are narcissists because that's... I did a video on this. I don't think anybody watched it. I feel like I'm a woman out in a forest, yelling at trees, like nobody's hearing me, I've warned about this. People need to stop needing to be lied to, and then liars won't get elected, okay? But unfortunately, people, they're so into their parties, they're so into their politicians, their guy, they're like so loyal to it that they're not loyal to principles. And that's what I want to try to say to y'all. Don't be about parties. Don't be about politicians. I'm not. Be about principles. Be about people telling you the truth, whether it's ugly or not, But for me, Donald Trump, there are some good things that he's done, but unfortunately, people who didn't vote for Trump, they're so into he's a narcissist, he's a racist, he's a blah, 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 all that stuff. They can't even see the good that he's done. And, that just makes you irrational. That makes you a psyop victim. That makes you a brainwash victim, when you can't rightly discern. You just throw the baby out with the bathwater. Stop being, into these parties and politicians, please, man, I'm so behind on these. Yeah, I agree with Pensight that our future, the future of this country, is what matters most. And I feel like all this talk about he's a narcissist, he's a racist, he's hateful. This is all this identity politics where we focus on sex, sexual orientation. This is all propaganda that's been going on. They've been doing this since Nazi Germany. Okay, if you study propaganda, it's identity politics is what they use to get us arguing amongst ourselves. They bring divide. This is how they divide a nation. They get us to war with each other, to have a civil war. And then people are begging for the authorities to come in and control everybody. And that's exactly, what communists and socialists want, okay? This is a distraction also from the bigger issues at hand, which is how your, liberties are being taken from you. And unfortunately, that's what's going to happen under Biden. You're going to have, more people forced to stay home, more small businesses going out of business, more economic warfare. Oh my God. Those of you who want to study the truth, you want to know what the truth is, you need to research the World Economic Forum, WEF. Research what's being said about the global reset. Again, another hot topic that nobody's supposed to talk about. I did put a little bit of a link on my community page for this. I might talk about it more in the future. But the thing is that what they're trying to do with COVID and with this election is insert somebody who is going to facilitate these socialist communist policies so that we're not free to, leave our homes. We're not free to not wear a mask. We're not free to choose to not be vaccinated. We're not free to stay in business if we're a small local business, the government is going to lock down on that worse than you saw this year. I feel like, Donald Trump should have done more to stop that, but that's another subject. It's just, I think it's going to be worse with Biden, okay? Healing Elements is asking, Jesus, what would Jesus do? He would protect people and take this seriously and wear masks. Oh my God, sweet Jesus. Healing Elements, it's a flu, okay? It has a 99% survival rate. These are statistics from the CDC. Were you running around wearing a mask during the swine flu outbreak of 2009, which was arguably statistically much worse than COVID of 2020? This is not what you are told, okay? This is, Alexander's saying this coronavirus is getting out of hand. Absolutely. This is a cover story. This goes back to what I said before about global reset. Money is changing hands right now. There is a shift of wealth distribution going on right now. And if you research the World Economic Forum, you will hear them openly, brazenly saying that by 2030, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy about it. Hey, what is that? That's communism. Not having individual property, not having individual rights. Everything's communal. Communist. You won't own anything by 2030 if you leave it up to them. But you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay your taxes, right? So another thing y'all can look at in addition to the global reset from the World Economic Forum is Research Agenda 21. This has been going on for a long time. COVID is the Trojan horse, honey. You know, COVID is not what you've been told it is. 99% survival rate. Don't take it from me. Go to CDC, look at it. 99% survival rate. But everybody's supposed to shut down business. And while this has been happening all this year, we have had a record number of small businesses go out of business. We've had big business, big tech have record high profits. And you know what's going to happen when people don't have jobs and their businesses have been bankrupt? Who are they going to go to for help? Big daddy government. And they're going to have the solution for you. Hey, we'll help you, but you got to do what we tell you. You got to stay in your house. You got to wear a mask. You got to take our shot. By the way, did you know Biden is saying that he's not going to allow, under his administration, he will not allow you to collect food stamps if you don't take the vaccine. They're already creating blacklists, by the way. People who don't go along with this program, people who are pro-Trump voters, they're already creating lists of these people, so these people will not be employed in a Biden administration. This is communism, folks. This is what happens. If you don't agree, you better keep your mouth shut or you won't make a living. And you better take that shot or you're not going to get a government aid. This is communism. And unfortunately, many of you don't recognize it. And that's by design. That is by design. I mean, I could make a whole nother video about this, and I might. Let me go back and look at this. Yeah, I'm getting Aquarius on y'all. I'm getting alien. Weird. Because I read. That's why I'm weird. Because I read and I go to the original source. I don't let the mainstream media spoon feed me their watered down, edited down messages, opinion-based pieces. I go to the original source. When the whistleblower came out on Project Veritas, I didn't go ask CBS what they think about it, or CNN. Those places are laughable. I went straight to the horse's mouth, Project Veritas, and you will see the confessions there unedited. And then you decide for yourself, and that's what I do. And the same with the congressional hearings. Don't go to these people and let them tell you what happened in the congressional hearing or in the press conference with attorneys. Go watch it in its entirety, unedited, and then decide for yourself. And I'm telling you, if you start doing that and then you go watch what these sorry excuses for media are doing as a job, you're going to be baffled. But let me warn you, when you do this and you try to tell people what's really going on, the people who watch this media are going to tell you you're crazy, you're stupid, and you're not credible. And that's what I deal with. That's what I deal with. And it's frustrating as all get out. It really is. All right. It looks like Adolf Hitler has taken a turn for the worse. You know, he's getting blocked because he doesn't know how to clean it up. So let me back up on some of these questions. Mac is saying, I don't like tax too, but hey, we have a good street if we do. That's a whole nother subject, but let me say that in America, we did not have taxes here until World War II, and that's when the income tax return was brought in. That's also when the Federal Reserve was brought in. That's a long history lesson I don't want to bore y'all with, but research it. How on earth did this country get built and prosper prior to World War II with zero taxes? It's because there's other ways to build roads and whatnot, apart from a tax system. And the people who founded this country knew that. And they also knew that getting on the unfederal non-reserve was going to be really bad for us. We should have our own currency, but currently right now, we don't. And the unfederal non-reserve is controlled by globalist bankers, not the Americans. So again, this is another, research it. I don't want to get long-winded about that, but right now Americans are being taxed at roughly 40%, which is, if you account for everything, property, gas, taxes, income taxes, state taxes, roughly 40% for Americans. And our founding fathers revolted over I believe was it a 4% tax or a 3% tax on tea bags coming in from a boat from, Britain. That's what they revolted over it. And we are now at a 40% tax. So, anyway. Yeah, the mask, I mean, and where's the Dominion proof? I answered that. Why have we not heard a thing about Dominion prior to this? Hey, I mean, I was talking about this stuff back in 2012. Nobody wanted to listen. Because honestly, you got to think about this. This is a sacred cow in America. We like to pride ourselves on having fair and honest elections. And nobody wants to talk about it. And honestly, I'm suspecting that maybe even Trump doesn't want to go there. Okay. And I think that's why he might have been distancing himself over the last weekend from Sidney Powell, because she's really uncovered something nasty that, if it is proven to be true in a court of law, it's going to bring into question every election since Dominion has been in use. And I'm not sure how long it's been in use because it's in 29 states. So this is bad, okay? I mean, people are going to get pissed off on both sides if they start if the thought enters their head, oh my God, we've got people who are telling us to wear masks, stay home, take this vaccine, do this, do that, run yourself out of business. And these people got in fraudulently from a fraudulent election system. Like, this is really a pressure cooker, okay? Really a pressure cooker. I'm reading more here. Okay, Sunny is saying love you. Thank you so much. Pin Sai is saying that's okay, Stephanie, keep ranting, at least you're speaking the truth. Jose Fernando says hello from Brazil. Well, hello. And it looks like a happy country. I've met some Brazilians before, and they're very happy party people, Oh yeah, Pensai is saying you're being blocked, Stephanie. You went to read my comment and YouTube blocked you from reading it if you're censored. Okay, well try to repost it, Pensai. I don't think I got that. So oh wow, Jose's taking a turn for the worse too now. Um okay. Alexander says he loves the sexy librarian glasses. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Lady, you talk too much. Yeah, I do. You can click off now if you don't want to listen. Nobody's making you. All right. Um, I'm still reading these and let's see. I don't know, Alexander. I don't know how to read you because I mean, you say some stuff that's like, where are you coming from here? Um, I don't know. I don't know where you're coming from. I'm gonna let that go for now. I'm gonna give Alexander a break on some of those comments. And wow, there's some people in this chat that are like really, ugh, God, like, don't you have something better to do with your time? I mean, if you don't agree with me, just go. Like, I don't care, you know, I really don't. Um, Annette Campo is saying, you can't imagine what it's like living in New York. Oh, well, I've been seeing the mass exodus going on, and it's been happening for years now. I started learning about it back in 2012, actually. A lot of people who come out here to New York are coming from, I'm sorry, they come out to Texas, or they're coming from New York, Chicago, and California. But I've been seeing, it's bad. I mean, I think right now the numbers of people leaving New York, it's like at an all-time high. Same with California, mass exodus. You would think that the people, the governors there and everything would like clue in on something like what's happening because they're taxing the hell out of these people. And it is like communism, like people can't, there's no freedom. So they come to these states like Texas where it's tax. There's no state tax here in Texas, so they get some financial relief. And you know, then we don't have all of this oppressive governing going on. You know, people have the right to bear arms out here. They don't have all these restrictions on them. So, yeah, I mean, I'm worried about the national political situation, but I mean, I'm like not horribly worried for myself and my family because we're in Texas. And I'm gonna tell you, if it gets bad enough, we will secede. I actually know some people who are deeply steeped in politics here, local politics, and they have said if Biden gets in, the secession movement in Texas will likely be stronger than ever. So, and we're big enough and we're strong enough to be our own country. So, I mean, I hate for it to come to that, but yeah, New York is rough. Scorpio Butterfly is saying it's proven that if you have COVID and don't know it and you put on a mask, you're breathing in and out, and that breath is only going to make you sicker. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fresh air is very important. And sadly, there's people who are putting these masks on to their own detriment. They have health conditions. They know it. They know they need to breathe freely because they have respiratory issues, asthma, things like that, allergies. And they're just following orders, doing what they're told, even though they know they're hurting themselves. And I heard of one woman who had a seizure in a restaurant because of this. And I've heard of children fainting and passing out while running track, while they were wearing a mask, at school. And it's just like, really? People, don't know how to think for themselves. They want the authorities telling them what to do, even when they know what they're being told is going to run them out of business or make them sicker. It's just sad. It's absolutely sad. And the reason why they're getting away with this is because you are consenting to it. You are consenting to this governing. And AB Free is saying, hello, sheep maskers. Hey, people with backbones. I'm a non-masker. Yeah. I could like list so many places I've been this year without a mask, and people look at me like I'm an awful human being, and I just smile back at them because they've been duped. They've been, propagandized. They didn't do their homework. They didn't even go to the CDC and look at the numbers for themselves. I mean, shit. Go to the source. Decide for yourself. And they're looking at me like I'm the devil supreme because I made an educated decision. And believe it or not, I've been in so many places without a mask, and they never even say anything to me because it's against the law. Did you know that? If all of y'all would just start going out places without a mask, I mean, I know some of y'all are in crazy ass places like Australia where they're gonna the cops will take you down on the street. Okay, I understand this is not everywhere, but where I'm at, like, nobody says anything to you if you don't wear a mask. I've heard that Florida's the same way. They know this is bunk. They know this is BS. And they know that if they try to force you, like if they try to confront you about it, they could get sued because there's laws. A lot of you are being preyed upon because you're conflict avoidant. You're afraid of confrontation. You care what other people think. You're afraid of people thinking that you're a bad person. You're a sociopath, that you're spreading sickness. And you don't know the law. You don't know your rights, and you are not exercising them. And this is how they take over a nation, with your willful consent. And some of you, it's willful ignorance because you have people telling you the truth and you won't investigate it. Rather than do that, you call people racist, ignorant, crazy, conspiracy theorist, rather than go investigate for yourself and decide for yourself. And what's worse is you are begging for people to force other people to do this. You want somebody like Biden to come in and shut this down and put everybody on basically house arrest. You want the U.S. military to be used against its own citizens in a way that was never intended by the founding fathers. Read history. This is what happens in communist socialist countries. This just happened a few years ago. In socialist Venezuela, the inflation there was so high, they were selling hamburgers for over $150. I know it sounds outrageous, you wouldn't believe me, but go research. You couldn't get a hamburger for over $150 out in Venezuela back in 2016, 2017. And they started having food lines and food riots. And guess what? The military, their own military that their taxes were paying for, were used against them in food riots. My God, people. All right. Let me see what else is coming in on the comments. And Mac is saying, stop talking politics. Well, I mean, like I told y'all from the beginning of this broadcast, my channel is not going to be all about politics, but right now we're going through a historic political event. I can't not talk about it. There are people here who care about it, actually. And you might not care about politics. You might not be about politics, but politics is about you. When you can't leave your house without fear of being arrested, when the government is telling you, like you're some teenager, that you can't be out past 10 p.m., as if corona suddenly, has a higher risk of being spread at that time. I mean, come on. Politics affects all of us. Yeah, I'm gonna ban Adolf. You're right. I am going to hide the user on the channel. Okay? You're out. And Mac, thanks for the compliments on my makeup. UNON. Juliana said he would not produce evidence to the public. There is no proof. Okay, I'm really tired of this. Do people not understand that there are legalities here? Evidence is admitted in a court of law. There is a process. Media is not judge and jury, okay? It would be irresponsible, by the way, for the attorneys to show all their affidavits to the media, especially in an environment right now where we have a lot of doxing going on. We have people like that canvasser out in, was it Michigan, who rescinded the certification of the vote, and when she did that, she was doxxed. Basically, they put her private information out publicly so that she could be harassed, so that she could be attacked. They're going after her daughter now. They put her daughter's school out. Okay, this is what these people are doing. You can't just put all this evidence out for the media. Just because they don't do that doesn't mean they don't have evidence. That's what the media is claiming. But the media is not judge and jury. A court of law is, okay? And that's where evidence needs to be properly submitted. And I don't even know why y'all are going along with this dog and pony show that the media is putting out. Oh, he didn't show us evidence, therefore there is none. Like, come on. Do you not understand how this works? Sorry, I'm on a rant tonight. Yeah, Sunny's saying in the UK there are 10,000 pound fines for large gatherings. That's what I'm talking about. I know, like in the European Union, Australia, it's way bad. And I'm telling you, Americans, it's gonna get even worse. We're headed down that road, and that's what they want. That's what the globalists with the World Economic Forum, the global reset, that's what they're trying to bring about through COVID, is they want to force us to be dependents. They want to force us to be under government control. Oh, and they want you snitching on your neighbors like Nazi Germany. They sure do. I agree with you, Mac. It's a weird year. And I know, by the way, there's been people, I saw out in the UK, they had a massive, thousands upon thousands of people protesting COVID out in the UK, and the police turned fire hydrants on them and refused to televise it. I saw video footage of that. This is, again, what you're going to see in socialist communist countries, and this is what we're headed towards. And unfortunately, this is what the left is begging for, because they think all that shit's going to be turned on the crazy conspiracy theorists or the right. Oh no, honey, that's for all of us. That's for all of us, okay? It's a big club and you ain't in it, as George Carlin said. You know, I'm not in it either, so. Penn Sai is saying, like I told you before, my job threatened me if I didn't wear a mask. I believe you. I believe you. This is out of control. This is all happening because of consent compliance. There's got to be civil disobedience. But I know if your income depends on it, what are you going to do? UN Owen, go look at my community page. There's all kinds of links on there if you think there's no proof. I'm tired of answering to this no proof, no evidence claim that's being parroted all over mainstream media. It's just, oh my God, masks work. Oh dear. You're not doing your homework, okay? Go do your homework. Oh dear. All right, I've already answered all of that. And somebody writing in, I guess your screen name is Cantonese or Mandarin. I'm not entirely sure. You'll have to clarify, so I can't read it. But this is great from an Asian country saying Donald Trump deserves everyone's trust. I appreciate the sentiment. I've been seeing a lot of people from all over the world are watching this and like, what the heck is going on? They're thinking, you know, and I do know a lot of people in other countries are actually pretty astute about what's going on, you know, what the situation is out here in the United States. I do feel like, you know, like I said before, I don't really trust parties or politicians. I trust in principles, practicing principles. To me, you know, people can be bought out, people can switch, you know, and so this is why we always have to be loyal to the principles. And the moment that a politician or a party is not following the principles of liberty, don't be loyal to them anymore. Unfortunately, we have people who are loyal to parties and politicians. They're not loyal to the principles of freedom, and that's why we're in the mess we're in. But I do like seeing that people, you know, in other countries are hip to what's going on, because, I mean, a lot of people here in America don't know what's going on. And let me say real quick, I mean, if you are not an American and you're wondering what the heck is going on, let me say this. You're trying to figure out who's the bad guy here? Notice who's burning the cities down, who's looting the local businesses, who is assaulting fellow Americans just for wearing a politician's shirt or cap, whose candidate consistently is implied for voter fraud time and time again, whether we're talking about, you know, software glitches with Dominion, or we're talking about big tech interference with the congressional hearings that I talked about, or, you know, votes found that were dumped in ponds and lakes, or poll workers posting online video confessions about how they're trashing votes. Who's doing that? That's the bad guy. And unfortunately, this is a side that you can't reason with. I mean, there are people, I have, like this last weekend, I made friends with some ex-Democrats, okay? Ex-Californians. And I have had several friends who were ex-Californians, ex-Democrats, by the way. Several. So, I mean, some of them can be reasoned with actually, but many cannot. And when you try to have a civil discourse with these people about the facts, you're going to get told predictably that you're racist, you're sexist. When you bring more facts, you're told you're crazy. This is gaslighting. You bring facts again, you're told that you're not credible or your sources aren't credible. And then when all that fails, they delete you, they block you, they censor you, and that is if they don't outright assault you. So this is what we're dealing with in America for people who are not Americans and want to know what's going on out here. So let me, and I want to say the advice for people if you're searching for the truth, okay? Research. Like I said, research World Economic Forum, the Global Reset, also UN Agenda 21. You can go straight to the UN site and read about it. And you can see that it's all about no private property ownership, no individual rights. Everything's going to be communal. You're going to pay taxes. Okay, you're going to own nothing and you're going to love it, is what they say at the World Economic Forum. By 2030, that's what they want for you. You're going to own nothing and you're going to love it. Okay, go to the original source as much as possible. You know, pay attention also to who you're not allowed to talk about, like George Soros. They can't even talk about George Soros on Fox News. Some of y'all think they're conservative over there. They're not. That is controlled opposition. There are people like that. You're not going to hear them at Fox talk about the unfederal non-reserve. You're not going to hear it. Follow the money is also my advice. Who's paying for what? Again, if we go back to this conversation about Dominion, who owns that company? Who funded that company? And in the media, don't pay attention to what they're reporting. Pay attention to what they're not reporting. That's where the real news is. That's where the real news is. But yeah, right now, I am concerned that we're on the brink of a second civil war because there's really an information war going on between those who refuse to see something, and I think because they've been brainwashed out of it, versus those who saw it and can't unsee. Like, I can't unsee what I saw on November 3rd at 4 a.m. Actually, technically, that was November 4th, 4 a.m. in Pennsylvania, when Trump was leading at 700,000 votes. And he was leading in 5 swing states, and all of a sudden they unanimously said, we stopped the count. And then we saw that Biden curve, or that, Biden Viagra curve, where all of a sudden 200,000 Biden votes mail-in were injected out of nowhere. Okay? I can't unsee that. And you're going to sit here and tell me that ain't real. I'm sorry, but those are statistics. Statistics don't lie. And you want to sit here and keep parroting no evidence, no evidence, no evidence. I saw it. That alone, I cannot unsee. And then you bring in all the videos of the police pulling Trump votes out of ponds and lakes. The videos I saw of poll workers, Democrats, videoing online that they were going to trash, and that they did trash Trump votes. I can't unsee that. And then you go into this whole Dominion thing. Oh, dear God. I can't unsee that. So let me close out with final response, because this is probably my longest live stream ever. Let me respond to some of these comments. All right. Yeah, Sunny is saying there's been a lot of anti-lockdown protests here in the UK. I'm glad to see that. That's really a positive sign. When people in the UK are protesting, my God, that means something. That really means something. You know, do you know, I mean, why they're locking all of this down? Those of you who are not following the financial community and what's going on, there's a big wealth transfer going on right now. They had to have a reason to stop businesses, cash from flowing the way it was. They had to have a reason to blame on why things are bankrupt, and they will be bankrupt. They are also rewriting contracts behind the scenes so that you don't notice things going into default. They're technically not going into default because contracts are being rewritten for different arrangements so that the news does not have to report all these people going into default. It's like the mortgage moratorium. Like, you don't see in real time what's happening because they're putting everything on hold right now, but the fallout will inevitably happen. Like what happened in 2008 with the housing crisis, that was in the making back in 2005. It took 3 years to see the fruits of that. And in the same way, this is like 2005 that we're in right now. By 2023, the housing crisis that you saw of 2008, there will be a repeat of it. But right now, there's a lot of rewriting of contracts. There's people going, small businesses going out of business, big tech, you know, Amazon.com, people like that, record highs. There's a wealth transfer going on. And the purpose of this is to make the masses dependent on the governments for a bailout. And this is what socialists and communists want. I hope I've made this clear. My message has been consistent. And you know, those of you who don't agree with me, it's fine. But rather than just simply say, you're crazy, gaslighting, right? Go research, go look at the original sources, decide for yourself. Sunny is saying the left burned British flags. I don't know a whole lot about British politics. I do follow Paul Joseph Watson. Big fan of him out in the UK. But I do know their Conservative Party there has been under attack, and it's like the same kind of brainwashing that's been going on with the left out here has happened out there in Britain, and it's just super sad. These people are PSYOP victims, and you can't reason with them. The moment you start trying to reason with them in a civil way, they start attacking you and calling you names, and it's super sad. Sunny is saying the left pulled down UK historical statues this summer. How can you get away with it? They're doing that here in the United States. They're trying to rewrite history. Again, right out of socialist communist playbooks. I mean, we can disagree with history, but it is what it is. All right. T. Witten's here. Good to see you. And said that she was not notified. Oh, well, you know what? It's not a surprise. Not a surprise at all. These kind of shenanigans are going on all over YouTube. Again, another reason why I just kind of like, you know, wanted to re-niche my channel, which I talked about earlier on in this broadcast, because some people had to be readdressed as to why there have been changes to my channel. Sunny's saying they don't want people notified of the truth. Yeah, that's right. And I mean, I kind of got to a place, honestly, when I made the decision to re-niche my channel, I kind of made a decision shortly thereafter that I just really don't care anymore. I'm going to speak my truth, and that's all I got. you know, and I feel like my channel was probably not well supported by the algorithm to begin with. I just kind of felt like, oh, I don't have anything to lose. And really, I want to, as a channel creator, make sure that I am being as authentic as possible, so that I am connecting with people who honestly, vibe with me. I don't, I don't want to, have this facade, because then what's gonna happen then is that I'm going to align with people for false reasons. There will be misalignments. And so, especially at this point in my life right now, authenticity has become more important to me, and aligning with the people who I authentically align with. And yeah, that means, that I talk politics because I'm interested in that and I want to align with other people who are as well. And, other people don't like it and they tell me to shut up. I don't agree with you. I didn't tune in for this. Well, yeah, we should probably part ways, because that's just not authentic to who I am. If you love socialism, communism, you're a statist, you like to vote for more taxes and more government control, hey, we should probably part ways, because, I'm not about that. That's not in alignment with me authentically. So I'm not going to stop people. And especially people who like to get into name calling when I'm trying to have a civil discourse and discuss facts, and I'm being patient and kind and everything, and I'm trying to reason with you, but you call me crazy or uneducated, or you know what I'm saying? It's like, or you're not credible, like, it's a slap in the face. It really is. I don't want to do tarot readings for those people. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, hey, if you think I'm stupid and I can't read the news, and statistics and all of that, and I can't make up my own mind, like, why are you coming to me for a tarot reading? You think I'm so fucking stupid? Excuse my French. See, I just really went off. I'm in rare form tonight. I am. I'm in rare form tonight. Okay. All right, but I'm going to leave it on that because I've gone way too long. My God, how long have I been on here? Oh God, I'm going to get off of this for now, because you know what? Hey, people, it's Thanksgiving Day, coming up, all right? And I am preparing for it. And you know what? I want to share with you my Thanksgiving. Yes, it's going to be totally non-political. Who knew? I could post on stuff like that. I can, absolutely. And if you're interested, I'm probably going to shoot some video, and post it after the holidays, and share with you what I'm doing for Thanksgiving, because believe it or not, I'm not all about politics 24/7. Yeah, I got other interests. I like, I like to do spiritual stuff, on my Etsy, making sage spray. And I like, bringing you videos about my journey towards healing, we're going to talk about that. And relationship stuff. Oh my gosh, I've got things cooking, like I'm going to have this videos that I'm going to be releasing on, what's, what's wrong with being nice, and I want to talk about attachment styles and all of that and relationships. And so, I mean, so much stuff coming up that is not political. If that ain't your bag, it's fine. And yeah, I will keep you posted on my community page about, doing this prophetic, practicing the prophetic every, I don't know, Monday. Is Monday good for y'all? Put comments down below. I might put a poll out on my page. I've done this before in the past. Wednesday nights were the best for my viewers, but if Monday is now best for my viewers, hey, we'll go with it. But yeah, just stay tuned and there will be more coming. And thanks for those of y'all who watched to the end. My God, you're rare find. And I really appreciate it. I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I look forward to connecting with y'all again. Till next time, be blessed.